Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Had a request to go back and do some more old country, so we'll do some more old country. That's my wheelhouse and that's what I like to teach. So got some Waylon by request, some Waylon licks that I'll toss in this from Ramblin Man, and got some Ace Frehley licks from Kiss. They somehow work. I don't know. So a little bit different style going to be tossed at you. Couple licks you may have heard, but they're actually inverted, turned inside out. So that's always a good thing. If you take some licks that I teach you or that you hear, play them backwards, or start in the middle, go forward, then go start in the middle and go backwards, and see how it meets. Okay, so it might be a train wreck, might not. Today, using the lovely Telecaster that had an accident, the infamous Groovy. One of the coolest axes I happen to own and have put together here. So anyway, we shall get away from my pretty face, bring the camera in closer, and get started with this thing. Hey, all right, folks. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to kind of show you what Ramblin Man sounds like for those of you who do not know. Here's the signature lick. Starts right off in the beginning. Go check it out live, because I always get a copyright strike no matter what I do. Everybody else gets away with it, but Dr. Groovy, no. So here's how it sounds. Okay, very cool little lick. It's got a minor note in it. We're in C, but it's actually got that minor note, the 6th fret on the A string, so the E flat or D sharp. So that makes it cool, and also lets you know that we could do minor licks in a major song, and it all turns out fine. I've actually got a video on here doing just that, playing minor licks in major keys. Okay, but had a request for this song in particular. I do teach this song on my Waylon Jennings download or DVD, whatever. I have a lot of different artists and teach a lot of different songs on there. So whole song is on that one. So go get it. $4, okay, to download it, or $9.95 for the DVD. All right, got to plug those every now and then. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my lovely little, what is it, Digitech or something, trio with my drummer and my bass player. Show you all the licks that I'm going to show you in this lesson, and you can decide whether you're going to run for the hills or if you're going to stick around. Okay, I'm going to do some Ace Frehley licks from Kiss also. They tend to work a lot in country simply because Ace Frehley only played pentatonic licks, much like Jimmy Page. Same licks basically, and not too far apart in time. And of course Jimmy Page, huge influence on Ace Frehley, so just pentatonic guys, same as Waylon always was, so it works. Okay, so all these old rock tunes, some of those licks are cool if you plant them in country. If you're listening today, I got my Pop Country Sucks shirt on, but that's what we get. We get all the rock and rollers playing, and get the 70s hair band or 80s hair bands, get their guitar players now, and they all play pentatonic stuff, and every now and then they go to town with the Floyd Rose, but they've always got their Marshalls behind them and their Randy Rhoads stuff, and hey, it's all cool. Anyway, so here's the backing track I'll be using and the licks I'll be showing you. Ramblin' Man right at the beginning, then the other stuff I'll show you on here. Okay, here we go. of stuff. So I will get into those little licks with harmonies. And they're good tension builders. On the one little bend, but we have 3 or 4 notes we can get out of that. Milk it. Okay, so a lot of people think you have to use 4 or 5 frets to get that. We get to use 1. Okay, so for the Ramblin Man Lick, we got 2 notes right here at the G. Okay, now watch this hand real quick also. Okay, Waylon actually plays it pretty straight. I tend to add a lot of those ghost notes. Waylon would do it like. And me, whenever I would play it. That kind of junk. So you do what you want, play your own thing. Okay, so that's 2 notes here on the G. Okay, so I go down and up. Okay, then we go up to A one time. C. Now we do our minor, which is going to be up here, 6th fret A string. Right back to C. Okay, now back to A. Back to G and start it over again. So. Okay, so that G coming back after we do the lick. As soon as you hit the G, of course, what you heard there, when you hit it, that's the first note of the 2, just so we can keep going, of this. And then now, first note. So it's always that, and it's important that you go down and up on the picking on the G. Okay, so that's how that goes. And against the drum pattern, you just got to feel it, or go listen to the original right here on the good old YouTube or whatever you're watching this on. And here's how it fits. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to add the other little things that I'm doing with the little clicky things. I'm just muting with the palm of my hand right against the strings at the bridge. Okay, so after the C, just doing 2 extra notes that are ghost notes. So down up. Okay. So right before I go to the minor one, which is 6th fret A string, that's when I stick it in. Okay, so right after the C note. Here, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so mix them up is a good thing. Sometimes I like to keep it traditional and stick like one of those in there just to give it a little bit of something different. and it does it so many times during the song. Again, different flavors. Always a groovy thing. Okay, another thing I want to do behind that is, oh, sorry. That's a great lick there. Going from the G down to the F, up here to the D string, first fret, E flat again. Okay, so that's from the lick again, but it's just done here. With a little bit of bend towards the floor. And you get back to C that way. Okay, and then we're going to look at the guitar neck a little bit a different way. Instead of playing forward, we'll be playing kind of getting up to it, but from the back side. Okay. Innuendos. Okay. Okay, so okay, so simply that. Okay, so we go back to the first fret on the C. Chromatically go up. Okay. Nothing there that we don't already know, so it's just a matter of phrasing. So in context. That is actually cool because you're just taking it up an octave, so whenever you want it. So we're going up to 5 on the G string, and you've got the G right up here above it on the D string. Okay, but when we go to the B string, we have to go to 4, 4th fret. Because of the way the guitar is tuned, instead of we got okay. Now here's one I didn't play, but it sounds great. A couple of chicken licks. Okay, so same thing. So 5, doing the C. We're going to do 1 with the first finger here at the 4th fret on the B string. Then the second time, we're going to do a ring finger on the 6th fret of the B string. We're going to need to do 2 little muted ghost notes on the C. Okay, so you can still hear that it's a C note. Okay, the 2 that I do, then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we do 2, and then do it up until the 8. The 8 will be the actual chicken cluck. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 2 to get into it, then 8 more notes, 7 of which will be on the C. Then the 8th one will be on the 4th fret with a little bend. Okay, the one right before I bent up, I did another like that. Now 6. that's just the 6th fret. And that can also turn into the Frehley Lick, which came off of the song Firehouse. If you want to look that one up and listen to it. He liked to do 7ths, but I'll show you the lick. Same thing we just did. Okay, so his were just phrased like this. Okay, so and going back and pulling off to the 4, and for the 7th. And then a little country thing at the end. So there's your Ace Frehley thing. So I'll kind of show you that in text. Okay, so the chicken legs, 2, 3, 4. Was when you got back to the 7th, which is the 3rd fret G string after the Ace Frehley note, which is so cool in my opinion, and it works. So after you get done doing that stuff and you're stuck on the 7th, simply doing nothing more than barring at the 3, 4, 5 on the G, B strings. It's nice to pick with an upstroke so you can really hear the harmony note a little bit over top of the main notes on the G string, just because it's something different and so it'll stand out. You'll get used to the blend between the 2 strings and how hard you want to pick each one. So that was mainly the G string. Now here's the B string, hotter. So it's all in a matter of how you pick it, so you'll get used to that. Okay? And okay, now let's get to this one up here. Most of it will actually still stay on the G and B string with that same bar across there. And you can continue right into this, of course. And this is the one that really sounds like it's doing more than it is. Okay, so that's just... So we're going from 5, 5, then we're going from 7 on the G to 6 on the B. Okay, so we're bending them both together simultaneously. So if you haven't figured this out yet, it takes a while. It's just like your fingers are glued together. They both bend exactly the same. So they should always stay the same distance apart as they just are on the guitar. So that takes a little bit of technique. Okay, you can do the battle, that thing. Do the old English ambulance thing. Okay, anyway, so it's just a little control. reducing it, so bringing that bend down about half of what it would be to get back to here. So the first one is actually like sliding it up 2 frets. So while you're working on it, you can always compare it to. Okay, so you heard a really cool one in there. The first one that starts to bend down. Okay, or you can do it this way. Just giving it more, almost a horn line sounding thing. Cool for endings of songs. Just adding the pinky in. Can put the pinky on the 6th fret only. So you get all 3 notes. And then put the pinky on the E and B string. So it's cool to do it with the pinky only on the E string. And then change it to the E and B. Very cool. That's just doing the D shape at 10, 11, 10. Chromatically. 10, 11, 10. 11, 12, 11. 12, 13, 12. Then you can actually go up more. Go up forever. So that's basically it. So go back and get all these together. But just like at the beginning, check that out. And I was putting all of these in while I was doing kind of a jam, showing you everything you would learn. Okay, folks, hope you dug that one. I'll be coming back with some more classic country, because that's the good stuff. And again, I know my demographic of all you folks, and a lot of veterans, disabled veterans. I really love the fact that that's a huge part of my audience here, and of the people, you know, who are playing. Very proud of y'all, and totally respect your service. Be groovy is all I can ever say. And again, hey, if you can ever build yourself one of these, do so. I happened to come across this pine thing, and then changed all the pickups and blah blah blah. I think it's very cool looking. Got a fender thing here on the back, and again I got Grovers on here. But again, when I had the label made, it's the Groovy with the big V in there. So I think it's cool. Hope you enjoyed the Waylon licks, for those of you out there who asked for it. And until next time, be groovy. And the girls like this when you're playing a flying V, and right before you go off stage, if you ever need to do a really disgusting trick, yeah, and that kind of thing. With all the other, with all the women empowerment these days, I don't know how well you get along with that one. But hey, I'm disgusting. I'm Dr. Groovy, and you're hopefully better for this groovy lesson. Catch you next time. Bye bye.